I'm speaking and you can't hear us. So, hello and welcome to Couple Chat.
where we parents discuss topics for you, parents.
I'm Matt.
I'm Jackie. This is Nate.
And this is Kala. Taken a few days ago while she was napping upstairs on her bed.
She's a cutie cat.
Yeah. So anyway, today we are jumping right back in. Yes, look, we're in our old setup.
Wow.
Or our new setup, whatever you want to call it. But we're
Our
back.
2020 setup. How about that?
Is it?
Well,
Oh yeah, I guess.
the final
but
2020
we kind of started
setup.
all this in 2020, so.
Yeah.
Look, we tried the thing in the office and it just didn't look good. We had way too many things that we were going to have to do in the background, and we miss this look. We like it. It's polished, and we, even though there's a lot to it, we wanted to get back to this.
Yeah.
Anyway, so today we have a few things to talk about. We're going to keep trying to do this thing. We're not going to go for an hour though. We're going to go for however long it takes, but hopefully it doesn't take that long.
Quick.
I will be starting today. We have, like I said, a few topics. The first off is Godzilla vs. Kong. Yes, we watched it. We watched it on HBO Max. It is available now, I think only for a month. So HBO is doing something a little differently than Disney Plus, where you pay a premium upfront to watch it on Disney Plus, $30, I believe, for newer films. With HBO Max, the film is available to stream for a month. And then after that time frame, it is off. So it has already been the middle of April, almost the middle of April. So if you want to watch Godzilla vs. Kong for free or with your HBO Max subscription, now is the time. But anyway, if you can't figure out what the plot of this is, Godzilla and King Kong fight each other. Wow, that's craziness. So that's what this movie was about.
What a conflict. It was funnier when I first said it.
Yeah, we thought that one a little too much.
Yeah, we've been killing that for the last few days. Oopsie.
But yeah, so Godzilla and King Kong fight each other. Really, there's not too much plot to this movie.
What I really enjoyed about it, though, was that there was a lot more monster fighting.
We have a cat, guys.
That was Kala. Sorry, everyone.
And she comes through that door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I really liked this time was there was a lot more monster fight. It didn't have as much of a human element. When the monsters were on screen, they had their time. And I don't know if it was because the CGI budget got bigger or if they just, took feedback from the fans. But it definitely felt more like a Godzilla movie, more like a monster movie, which is what Godzilla is all about. It doesn't really have... the human element isn't necessary. So I really, really like that about this one. And there was some unexpected guests that I think some people would be really excited about, especially if they're Godzilla fans. So if you haven't seen it yet, there's a little non-spoiler hint about the film.
Sounded like kind of a spoiler to me. But, so, I take Godzilla from a completely different standpoint than Jackie does. She grew up with the cheesy, 60s all the way up to the 90s films. And where I knew about those films too, and I've seen them, I've more in my older age have changed my look on Godzilla, and where I do believe that the human element that's in the United States Hollywood version of Godzilla is totally unnecessary and really doesn't do anything to affect the plot, and kind of is there just so that they can blatantly explain kind of like why these monsters are fighting. That's what happens in this film, and that's what happens in all the films that they've been using to create this cinematic universe, kind of like trying to do a Marvel thing. That's what everybody's trying to do now. But anyway, the thing for me is these movies are not really what I feel Godzilla ever was supposed to be. And for me, the human element is important in Godzilla when it's done right. And it's only really been done right in the Japanese films. And when I say the Japanese films, I mean like the originals. Mm-hmm. So Godzilla should have never really gone past that original film, which took place post Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Godzilla was a metaphor for nuclear war and how it affected Japanese culture and citizens after we, as a country, bombed their country. Godzilla was supposed to embody that and show this great villain that basically came and ravaged their cities. That's not what Godzilla is anymore. It transformed into this silly, goofy thing where now it's just monsters fighting monsters. And I personally am not really a fan of that. I would rather Godzilla get back into that or stop making Godzilla movies because they're not really doing that good anyway. I mean, blockbuster-wise, it seems like they're making money because they keep making them. But they're really not good films. This one was definitely better when it came to, like she said, monster fighting and stuff like that. But the human element is still terrible. The actors were a little better this time. They brought in some more highbrow actors, like Alexander Skarsgård plays a pretty major role. So if you like True Blood and you like looking at him half naked, don't watch this movie.
He's never naked, unfortunately. He never has his shirt off, which is shocking because it
but
seems
he does
like
have a beard for like 2 seconds, and then all of a sudden he didn't, and we were like, "What is going on?"
Yeah, he was.
It's really weird.
He was shaggy and hairy in one scene, and then clean cut in the next, and it was like there wasn't that much of a lapse of time. It was very strange.
Yeah.
It was early in the movie, so I guess that's how they kind of poo-pooed it, but it was very interesting. But yes, if you are looking to see Alexander naked or shirtless at all, unfortunately, in this film, it is not a thing.
But you know who you will see naked? Godzilla. And King Kong.
Yes. Yeah, they are some naked monsters.
But, to go back to what I was saying, you know, even King Kong, so now you're bringing two movies together. So, both King Kong and Godzilla were made as separate films. Godzilla, a Japanese film, in the wake of World War II. King Kong, was an American film, and it was showing this sympathy towards this beast, and they kind of did that in this film a little bit, but at the same time, these monsters were never even supposed to come in contact. They were unrelated to each other, and somehow a studio got a hold of both of them, and American filmmakers were like, let's do this. Well, American producers, Hollywood, it's all about the money. But in the end, if you want to watch true Godzilla, if you want to see what Godzilla really was, either watch the 1954 Godzilla. It still really does hold up. You know, the animatronics and the stop motion and the suit that they created, it's still kind of scary, especially because it's black and white. It's kind of like how I feel about Frankenstein, which if you were here for when we were talking horror films, like, whoa, a long time ago in October.
6 months ago.
Yeah. Frankenstein's on there for me because it's still a pretty scary film, and I think the black and white helps with that.
Yeah.
But I digress. The last thing I want to say is if you want to really see the best Godzilla movie out there, which I still have yet to see, I've heard it's amazing, it's Shin Godzilla. Came out just after they started this cinematic universe, and it was made by Japanese filmmakers, and it is the only Godzilla movie I've heard that actually does a good job with the human element and kind of modernizing Godzilla in Japan, but still keeping that fear that the Japanese people have. It's not nuclear war anymore. I believe they were going through some sort of pandemic, not this one, but like something was going on that they used Godzilla to embody at that time. But regardless, like, I hear this film is phenomenal, and Shin Godzilla, like the ultimate form of Godzilla, they've then transitioned into these films. It's when he has the, like, you know, spikes come out of his back and
they glow.
And the lightning kind of like comes out of them. That was ripped right from Shin Godzilla. So Hollywood still, I don't know. Still, to me, they shouldn't even have a hand in Godzilla.
Right.
It's just how I feel.
No, I agree.
But if you want to watch two monsters fighting each other. That's what you're gonna get, and really, really bad human stuff. But anyway, let's move on. What do we have next up, Jackie?
Next up is we were reading Ready Player 2. Now, this is the sequel, so there is a prerequisite for this book that is called Ready Player 1. There was a movie made. Please do not see it. It has nothing to do with the book. But we really enjoyed the first one. And so Matt actually bought Ready Player 2 for me for my birthday back in March. And neither of us had even known it was coming out, which was really exciting. So he just happened to be in Barnes & Noble getting me a birthday present, and then saw that and was like, oh, well, I got to get that too. And kind of went from there.
Jackie has been reading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone to Nate, our son, and for a while now she's wanted to get the illustrated version, which, is really just, it's the same book, but what's the artist? Jim McKay?
Jim Kay.
Jim Kay. Oh, okay. So Jim Kay, who's, I guess, a British artist.
Yeah.
Yeah. They partner together with him, and I think they're paintings.
I think they're paintings too. I think the way that he
reprinted
illustrates...
paintings.
Yeah.
That's what they look like. It doesn't look like digital art, and I think that's why the book is so cool. But I went there to get that for her to read Nate, instead of just her old copy of Sorcerer's Stone, which I understand has, personal.
It has such sentimental value, but Nate's not really interested when I'm reading it. That and the cover's ripping off, and I don't really, I wanted to keep it in as good a condition as I could so that I could give it to him or our next child, down the road a piece if they want it.
That's still a possibility. I mean,
absolutely.
They'll still get that for sure. But anyway, sorry.
But
We're
the
supposed to be talking
version
about Ready
great.
Player 2.
Anyway, Ready Player 2. So, we promised you we'd have this book done, and we tried.
We did try.
So, I'm a very fast reader normally.
I'm a very slow reader normally.
So, what happened was, I got really far. I got to 194 pages. This is a book of 371 pages. So, I'm a pretty decent way into the book. And Matt's only on what? He was only on page 70, I'd say. Something like that.
I don't even think that far. Because,
yeah.
So, no spoilers, obviously. But from the beginning of Ready Player 2, there's a lot of just information dump, Yeah. And I'm not saying that Ready Player 1 didn't have this, but it was less so. You could tell it was about character development and world building. Whereas now, they do a lot of, in the first few chapters, we're just going to throw all this shit at you, and then we'll get to the story.
It's hey, this is what happened in the last book, and this is what happened since then, but we're not going to show you any of that. We're just going to blah, 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 word vomit.
It was a prolonged recap.
Yeah, it was recap.
But it goes on for a few chapters.
It's a long time. And Matt had a hard time getting through it. Yeah. And I really just was okay, I don't care. I just want to chug along, get through it. So I stopped at 194 when I realized he was falling behind so fast. And I gave him the opportunity. I said, listen, just catch up to me, take a day, and just read. So he got really far. And he got to the point where we finally caught up after, 1-2 days, something like that?
Yeah, it wasn't that long because once you get past that info dump stage, the story starts to kick in, and it's interesting. Again, we don't know how it resolves yet.
No.
But I mean, it's interesting. Do I feel like they're pulling at straws sometimes, and they're, Ernest Cline is really trying hard to be how do I make a sequel? Yes, I do. I don't feel like this book is overly necessary, but maybe it is. Maybe he always had this plan. Who knows? I don't know that much about it. I'm kind of just going in as a blank slate. Yeah. So is she.
Same here. And that's the thing, with Ready Player 2, it's been more of a, okay, we're riding on this roller coaster and we're not at the drop yet. And I think that's what we're waiting for. So, I mean, we'll tell you in the comments, or maybe we'll update you next week in our recap or our intro. But so far, it's okay. Not our favorite.
Yeah.
Definitely not as good as the first one.
I'm hoping that, the second half of the book, because,
So we're on page 209.
I think we're a little further than that, but we're in the 200s now.
Because what we did was, when he caught up, we actually were reading chapters out loud with each other.
It was actually pretty awesome. We've never done that before, but since we were reading it together and we were trying to finish it so that we could talk to you guys about it in full, but since we're not talking spoilers, we felt like it wasn't such a missed opportunity that we didn't get to finish it.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty cool that we're able to express our how we feel about it now in the middle, because so many people judge anything, a movie, a game, a TV show, a comic book, a book, by its ending, and you almost sometimes lose all the meat in the middle. Like, the book can be absolutely horrendous, but if the last chapter is amazing, people take that away from it, and then it's like, wow, that book was amazing. But I've had that happen, and I've read books or watched movies even, and I'm like, oh my god, this movie is not good, or it's okay, and then the ending hits and you're like, wow, that was crazy, but the movie itself was all right.
Yeah definitely.
So it's cool that we're telling you how we feel in the middle of this book,
kind of like a book club.
Do you want us to do that?
Ooh.
I mean, you guys, we barely have an audience now. I don't think we should start doing something else.
Yeah, but a book club, I mean, I would totally do that. If someone wants to send me a book and we can discuss it live, I will do it. I love to read. I love anything. I will read anything. Just send it or suggest it, and I will get it, and we will read it. And I promise it will be great. Anyway.
Jackie does love to read. She hasn't read as much these days, mainly because, we put ourselves in so many different places now when it comes to entertainment. Like, most of the entertainment we do is joint, you know? Even video games. Like, we play so many co-op games now, or games that, are cinematic enough that one of us are okay with paying attention to it. So, for instance, she's playing the BioShock trilogy for the first time in her life. I've played this series multiple times, and I love it. It's one of my favorites. And I love just sitting there watching her play. Yeah. And she's been playing it while I was catching up in Ready Player 2. And that's been great, but at the same time, there's a moment I know a scene's coming up, and I'm like, oh shit, I want to see her reaction, so I stop reading, or I stop paying attention to whatever I'm doing and watch her.
Yeah.
So
we both do that. So it's always been a thing since we even first started dating, or maybe even a little bit later than that. I would read a book while he'd play a game, and it was just commonplace. I'd be laying here, Calla would.
Calla, you.
Well, there you go. She's here.
Yeah.
There she is,
She's
guys.
never in couple chat.
No.
And she's gonna sit there. Great. That's awesome.
Fantastic. And this is Calla. This is Calla. There she is. Oh my gosh.
She gave away the fact that we have our light back there.
Yeah.
We could actually see it now. It's right here. But yeah.
Anyway, but no, it's just actually it was commonplace. I'd be laying there on the couch with my feet on his leg, and then he'd be playing his game. But anyway, so Ready Player 2, we're kind of on the fence right now. First one's really good. If you get a chance to pick that up, definitely read it. The second one we'll let you know.
Yeah. In
our intro next week.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
So those are the things we wanted to talk about today.
Yeah.
But, it's always nice to do a little update on our son. So, Jackie, if you want to take that away.
We're doing a Nate update.
Ba-dum-tsh.
So, Nate is learning a lot every day. He is dancing. He claps at everything. He puts something down, he claps. He picks something up, he claps. It's really cute. Yeah, he's teething a lot right now. He has another 2 teeth coming in, but these are the side. I'm sure his mom will get mad at me. The molars.
No.
Bicuspids.
Bicuspids,
sure.
probably.
These guys back here.
Yeah. Not the ones that are all the way in the back.
He has one coming in on each level, or each side, top and bottom. So he's been really struggling. So we've been trying to find any way possible to help him with that, because I don't want to give him medication. Like I won't give him the Orgel or anything. So what we do is my mom actually taught me this trick. You
Vodka.
wet.
Wait, what?
No. My God.
What?
Better not.
Huh?
We don't even have vodka. Anyway,
What?
you trying to make us look like we're
I
doing...
said I hate vodka.
Oh, hate vodka. Okay. I didn't hear or see. Anyway, so she wets a washcloth and then you freeze it and then he chews on it. Kind of like a dog with ice cubes, but it's a baby with a iced washcloth. And as it melts, it's his washcloth, so he can actually chew on it too, because babies love to chew on like that kind of fabric and stuff. And
He seems to like it.
I think that's really been helping for the most part. I tried freezing strawberries. He chews on it for a sec and gives it back to me, or throws it on the floor.
He's not a fan of strawberries right now.
Yeah, I don't.
He's not a fan of many things right now.
It's his teeth.
And I'm going to put this out there in the world of people watching. At least we know one is. Thanks for screaming. Just saying.
We love our son.
Just saying thanks for screaming.
We love our son. Period. He has this habit of screaming at the top of his little lungs all day long. And it gets to the point where he screams and
Maybe
he goes
cat
hoarse
intruder.
now because of how much he screams. And we really, really love it. It's just great.
We don't. It's the worst.
It's
and
awful. It's the worst part so far.
we want to scream.
I mean, screaming, crying when he was newborn, that we understood.
Yeah, different type of scream.
He couldn't understand. He's just crying because he's hungry, tired,
Yeah.
poopy, whatever. That kind of screaming, fine. It's crying. No big deal.
No.
No, not the keyboard. You? Okay.
Sorry. Like I said, cat intruder. Yeah.
But
Go
this type of screaming...
Okay, you can lay there.
Don't touch anything.
She's laying next to the computer.
She's looking at it like, oh, I can play with this? Anyway, this type of screaming is the kind... who says it? Dane Cook?
I don't know.
There's
Not a Dane Cook
There's
fan.
the sounds that make you want to punch a baby.
We shouldn't be saying this
I'm not.
out loud.
We are
online.
never, ever, ever going to do that. I'm just saying that there is a joke out there that someone says, you know that noise that makes you want to do that activity? I'm not going to say it again. I understand that sound now. I'm never, ever going to do that, but I understand that sound now.
Wow.
It's one of
Jackie, if we were huge celebrities, this would be in the tabloids tomorrow. People would be like, Jackie Hahns says she's going to punch her son.
People take things out of context over and over and over and over. It's like a broken fucking record over.
Whoa.
Excuse me. Sorry.
I know I said shit a few times, but...
Broken record. Oopsie. I haven't done this in a while. Sorry, guys.
And Facebook blocks our video. On that note...
Oh, no.
So anyway... That
Sorry.
was couple chat. No, I don't know. I don't even know.
Maybe. Probably. Oops.
But yeah, guys, so... See, about 30 minutes. That's probably what we're going to wind up doing from now on. We just, get it out to you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's, so Godzilla versus Kong. Ready Player 2. Nate. I mean, I love Nate.
Nate's screaming.
No, I love my son.
We love our son.
He's amazing.
He's awesome. And he's learning so much.
He dances so much now, too.
He dances.
He does this.
He does this. No.
Oh,
he
well-
does the arm. Like,
Well, he
if
does.
you can
He
see,
does
he goes
this.
like this.
He does this, but then,
And then
if you're holding him, he does this because he only has one available arm.
And you think he's hitting you because he's like swinging it back so far.
Yeah.
And sometimes he hits you in the face, but he doesn't know it. He's just dancing. It's so cute.
Yeah.
He's so cute. Especially when he's sleeping.
Dude, this kid, still to this day, great sleeper. There's some wood in front of me, so knocking on it, but he's a great sleeper.
Good sleeper.
Great sleep.
He has a few times. There was 2 hours the other night that he was,
It's
oh
the teeth.
boy.
It's got to be the teeth.
2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours. And it started at midnight. It was great. Yeah, it was awesome.
Also, his mommy was on the phone being loud, so could have been that too.
I was not being that loud.
Anyway, that was our Nate update.
Yeah.
This was Couple Chat.
Oops.
I'm Matt.
I'm Jackie. This is Nate.
And she is literally right there, but we can't really show you her. But she's laying next to one of the lights. So this is that adorable picture of Cal that we got a few days ago.
Yeah.
But she is right here.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us. And we hope to see you next week. Oh, crap. What are we talking about next week? Did we even discuss?
I mentioned it, but
Yeah.
I don't think we decided.
Sorry, guys. We suck.
I mean, we'll probably be talking... Won't Winter Soldier be ending by then?
No.
No.
This is the penultimate episode on Friday. So we can talk about it the week after.
Nah.
No, the week after.
Nah.
We don't know.
We'll figure it out. I'm
Of course.
so sorry.
We always do. Anyway.
We'll mention it in the comments if you guys watch this later on.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, and by the way, we're not only on these platforms, but we're also on Instagram.
Yes.
And on
Hi,
Instagram,
Instapeeps.
we do behind the scenes.
Yes.
So
they can see. I'll show you anyway.
Yeah.
I've been monitoring our different shots. Yeah.
So, if you want to check us out on Instagram while we're going live, that is what you'll see. Well, you won't see the slides, but you'll see the behind the scenes, the camera,
Yes.
us on the couch, the keyboard, and
How the
Calla.
lights are set up and all that. Yeah, I mean, you can't see her now. She's laying on the floor, so maybe the Instagram people will get to see her.
Maybe. Go ahead and check us out there.
Anyway,
Here are
the Hahns signing out. Should we do like the news thing? Like,
No. Remember you said that at the end of the WandaVision, and I was
Did
just yeah, remember?
Oh.
We were like, oh, this is what we're
I'm
gonna do
fade
now.
Okay,
Yeah.
here we go. I'm gonna
That's
fade.
fine.
Should I fade out the audio too?
Sure.